Good evening. So I'm very pleased to be giving an update on Beacon's development company, including recent deals, current activities, and future opportunities. Excuse me. Since we formally reported to the group at the annual meeting last year, we've continued to work at a very strong pace. Perhaps most noteworthy is the addition of a new president of Beacon Communities Development. So Dara Kovel joins us from Connecticut Housing Finance Authority, where many of us knew her for her leading work in the rental lending and tax credit programs. Prior to joining CHFA, Dara had a successful career as a developer in both the for-profit and nonprofit side. And if you have not already met her, please take the opportunity this evening to introduce yourself or tomorrow at the annual meeting. You'll notice that she even jumped in with both feet last night by participating in two acts at Beacon's Got Talent. But perhaps the best side of her joining is that her joining will help ensure the successful completion of the existing pipeline of deals, but will also enable us as a company to pursue more new development, acquisition, and investment opportunities. So currently, we've either finished, just finishing, or have under process about a construction of about 2,500 apartments, along with countless other site, structural, mechanical, common area improvements. We're also underway on a very exciting new construction project down in Duxbury. And we have an active pipeline and are refocusing on how we continue to identify and close on high-quality, high-impact properties that will enhance the Beacon portfolio. So in another few minutes, we'll go through slides and we'll talk specifically about a handful of all of the activities that we've got going on. So as we walk through the presentation, which I want to thank Emily Bouton for putting together, and it's taken an additional step up. You'll see it's fabulous with some great images of the properties. We should all take great pride in the unique properties, the award-winning designs, the progressive service-enriched programs that we offer, and the investment returns that we continue to deliver back to investors and our lenders. The quality of work, our integrity, level of performance, the ability to get the deal done, and the positive and cooperative nature of the entire Beacon team have helped to make Beacon an organization that people want to work with and work for. That's the result of the commitment of everyone in the room and in the field that we are all making every day. We truly appreciate the tremendous team effort. So I won't make folks stand up as I did last night, but I do want to begin by recognizing development team members, including development accounting, including Darcy Jameson, Josh Cohen, Gina Martinez, Thatcher Tiffany, Courtney Coslow, Jamie Pennington, who's joined new since last year, Emily Bouton, Stephanie Mendez, who's also new since last year's annual meeting, John Mooney, Amy Nolan, Paul Lee, Sherry Monez, Stephen Conley. We also have the great fortune of having a handful of other key players, call them on the development team, whose insight, wisdom, and experience plays a huge role in structuring, funding, and closing on deals, which would be Howard and Pam, Kathleen Sheehan, David Greenblatt, Mercedes Ferrando, Sarah Bose. But I also have to note, outside of the kind of the development and exclusive home office world, that I want to note the integral role that asset management, marketing, compliance, and operations play in each project. And without their active involvement and coordination, things would be a mess. So I'm going to try to name names, which is a bit of a risk. So please forgive me if I forget anyone. But Mary Corthell, Suzanne Gallione, Eric Callanan, Becky Roberts, Kai Shanahan, Kai Binning, and the entire asset management team, Marina Zanelli, Frank Alvarez, Gary Dufresne, Tony Cataldo, Paul Gunther, Kevin Donovan, and the entire operations team, Andrew Oreo, Deb Burke, Liz Moore, Corrine Curtis, and the entire compliance team, John Reardon, Mary Taylor, and the entire marketing team, and Mary Dunn, our Integratech guru. So I'm sorry, Mary Ann Dunn. So hopefully I haven't forgotten anyone. And now we'll take a few minutes to go through the recently closed deals or transactions that have otherwise wrapped up. So, Branchwood Towers, which Nadine was recognized for earlier this evening, we originally acquired in 2005. It's a project that's gone through multiple financings and transfers since acquiring it, and is preparing for a markup to market renewal of the Section 8 contract in the spring of 2016. It's 180 apartments in Clinton, Maryland. end, and it's 100% Section 8 assisted, primarily elderly. And we recently completed significant renovations to the first floor, and we'll be enhancing the level of services, supportive services for the residents that will be instrumental in achieving higher rents and increasing the value of the property dramatically, as well as really serving the residents to an extraordinarily high level. So thanks to Nadine and the entire site staff for the extensive renovations and enhancement of the wellness programs there. Colonial Estates, that's one of Gina's projects. 500 units located in Springfield, Massachusetts. Very large occupied site rehabilitation, and as always, the construction process has been very interesting with its unique challenges. Construction is essentially complete with some minor loan and equity administration to wrap up. And a special thanks to Gail Malone and the entire site team for coordination of construction and management of the existing resident populations throughout. Edmund's house, which looks fabulous now. When I think the images last year were not quite as nice. So this is 190 apartments in Springfield, Massachusetts, which we acquired in April of. Oh, I'm sorry, Framingham. Looking at my notes. We acquired the property in April 2013, and like Colonial, the construction work at Edmonds has been completed or is just wrapping up some minor aspects, and we'll be concluding the legal and financial aspects of the job. Huge thanks to the entire site team for a very successful construction job there. So Georgetown Homes is an enormous 967 apartment development in Hyde Park, Massachusetts, with an incredibly complicated process due in part to its sheer size. So while you may feel like we've been discussing this for many years, it's because construction has been underway for many years. But at this point, construction has been completed 6 months ahead of schedule. It was a fabulous job, and we want to thank the entire site team, which it really does take a village out there. There are tons and tons of people working hard to make sure that it comes together successfully, which it has. So thank you for this monumental undertaking. So Morehead Tower is 140 apartments located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which we acquired the property and began construction in late 2013 and completed construction earlier in 2015. Construction scope and the resident population, many of whom have visual impairments or other mental illnesses, have made this a truly unique and challenging job. But we've transformed the building and the resident programs there, creating a very vibrant Beacon community. Of note, we received a recent REACT score of 97C, which is outstanding, and a huge thanks to the team there in Pittsburgh. So Old Colony Phase 2C, with some spectacular images here as well. It's another phase of the public housing redevelopment being done in connection with the Boston Housing Authority, located on the water in South Boston. The design and the construction are spectacular and has truly been transformative to the development and to the neighborhood. Old Colony Phase 2C is 40 apartments, has just completed construction, is now, I think, fully occupied or one or two folks away. So it's done extraordinarily well. So Robinson Kudakura is another, so anyways, 94 apartments in 2 interconnected mill buildings in Malden, Massachusetts. It's 100% Section 8. We bought the building in 2014, and during 2015, we renovated the first floor common areas and brought in a deep and rich service offering, and we've received approved rents on the Section 8 contract and are midway through a refinancing, through which we'll be able to provide funds to maintain the property at a high level for decades to come. And huge thanks to the site team there for surviving the renovations and creating the service-enriched programs, which are spectacular. So Rolling Green is 204 apartments, which are located in Amherst, Massachusetts, within a couple miles of a few colleges and the University of Massachusetts. We acquired it 1 week before last year's annual meeting, and we've been working on a very complicated financial transaction involving state credits, a loan from the town of Amherst, and FHA-insured financing. I was hoping to be reporting that we'd closed today. I think hopefully it'll be tomorrow or Friday. Very close. Anyways, we will have successfully preserved affordability at a good portion of the apartments, and we'll have set aside significant funds for renovation work, which should begin immediately. So I'm going to run through a few deals under construction. So some An image of Dorado Apartments, which is 189 units located in Yonkers, New York. So last year we hypothesized that doing business in a new location with a housing authority and with certain programs with which we had not previously worked would present some challenges. So these aspects have been less challenging than some of the construction-related and resident-related issues that we've had to deal with. Thankfully, we've got a great site team and contractor, and we're making our way through those issues. So we're making huge improvements to the property, and we'll be finishing construction in 2016. So this is Island Creek Village, Duxbury. This is one of Courtney's projects. These are images. We actually should have some pictures of the current site, which looks a little bit more like a moonscape with some foundations and some framing going on, and it's changing day to day. So this is a two-phase new development project, including 94 age-restricted units, and a second phase, which recently closed, of 120 units of non-age-restricted mixed-income housing. Since last year's annual meeting, we've gone through 3 closings, including a land acquisition and multiple significant tax credit closings. And each closing has required close coordination and laser-like focus by development, compliance, and the operations team, and by outside counsel. Quite amazing productivity over the past year on this development. So construction is really underway, and along with this will be improvements to the existing Island Creek phases, including a new wastewater treatment facility and a brand new community center and management office. So Mandela Homes with Emily and Darcy's job. This is 276 units located in the Lower Roxbury neighborhood of Boston. So Mandela was already part of the Beacon portfolio, but it was clearly time for a refinancing and a major capital infusion, renovation. So construction is underway, in full swing, and we're working closely with the construction team and sometimes challenging resident population on a daily and weekly basis. Park Tower Apartments. This is 156 apartments in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Construction commenced in September of 2014 and is nearly finished. It's worth noting that the team has dealt gracefully with many challenges during construction. We're working in an out-of-state market, but thankfully we've partnered with a Pennsylvania-based developer and we're working with our longtime general contractor. So Royal Worcester is 155 apartments in a historic former factory and mill building in Worcester, Massachusetts. During 2015, we restructured the mass housing debt and are underway with a major rehab, also creating eligibility for historic tax credits. So the capital plan includes replacement of historic windows, roof, heating plant, security features, common area, many unit turns. The work will really be transformative and will have an immediate impact from a presentation and marketing standpoint. So huge thanks to Paul Gunther, who's overseeing the renovation there, as well as the entire site team. And congratulations to the team for the Beacon Legacy Award, which they won earlier today. So Station Point, or formerly known as Village at Mansfield Depot, is a combined 245 apartments in Mansfield, Massachusetts. In 2014, we refinanced and restructured the deal, setting aside significant reserves for capital improvements. Enough of this work has been completed that the property looks noticeably different. As part of that work, in an effort to continue to enhance the development, we renamed and are rebranding the property, and that work will continue over the course of the next couple of years as we continue unit upgrades and other common area and site improvements. St. Stephen's, excuse me, 130 apartments in Lynn, which we own with our joint venture partner, the Episcopal Church. So we're nearly completed with construction. This is one of Gina's projects, and a special thanks to Linda Hooley and the entire site team for all of their support and attention to the project. And now I'm going to hand it over to Dara.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dara. First, let me say how appreciative I am and how excited I am to have joined the Beacon team. The warm welcome and generous support I've gotten in my first 5 weeks with the company has been tremendous, and I'm very grateful to each one of you who has made that transition possible. You may be surprised to find this out, but last night actually solidified my belief that I've made a good decision. A company that has a sense of humor and knows how to have fun is hard to come by, and you guys, this company is clearly one that knows how to do that. Needless to say, I'd like to take credit for the outcome, for the development team, 5 weeks on the job, I brought it home. No. You could ask anyone on that team. I had virtually nothing to do with the award. However, it did get me very excited about next year's, and I'm ready to kind of start focusing on how we're going to do next year's. So, to the judges, Jeff, Carla, and Joe, if there is anything you need from development, talk to us. We're here for you. And if you're not the judges next year, make sure the people who are talk to us. So I look forward to meeting all of you. As Mark said, please feel free to introduce yourself, even if I met you in the first week, reintroduce yourself. I can't wait to get to know you all. I'm very excited to come out and see some of the sites. It's really astounding, the quality of work and the stories I hear about what's going on the properties, the work you all do with the residents, the quality of the buildings, the reinvestment that we're doing on the front end. It's just incredibly exciting. So I couldn't feel more grateful to have joined a group of people who are so smart and dedicated to providing quality housing across the state and the region. So thanks for having me. So now I'm going to give you a few updates on activity that's sort of in what we'd call sort of the front end of the pipeline. If I get facts wrong, particularly geography I'm still working on, names I'm still getting, so feel free to correct me. I'm okay with that. One of our really exciting sort of out-of-the-ground projects, new construction, is in the town of Amesbury, and Josh is working away feverishly on due diligence and some design work at that property. We're hoping to build 190 new units there, new apartments right on the river, about a half a mile from the downtown of Amesbury. It's just a fantastic site, part of the lower Mill District there in Amesbury. And it's a very exciting project, and we're very hopeful that we'll be in full pre-development mode in the first half of next year. So keep your eyes open for that. We're looking forward to seeing some good work come out of that and that new relationship with the town of Amesbury. 169 King Street is in Littleton, and this is actually right next to the Pondside property that I think Howard referred to. We would love to build another property there, 90 units of market rate and some affordable housing right there at 169 King Street. So we're working with our consultants and with the town and trying to figure out what's possible and trying to make that work. So we're looking forward to moving that forward in early part of 2016. The next few projects are what we would call portfolio reinvestment projects. Berkshire Peak, which is formerly Riverview Homes. Gina has been trying to figure out how to get her arms around the restructuring of the existing debt and reinvestment for this moderate rehab that we think will be a really great reinvestment, 120 units of Section 8 housing in Pittsfield, a challenging market, but a really great opportunity to reinvest in this critical housing stock in Pittsfield. Also hoping that will close in early 2016. Palmer Green is sort of also similarly marching forward towards a construction start. We hope February of next year we will be under construction with a nice rehab of 156 units of Section 8 housing in Palmer's, Massachusetts. And that will get us a nice improved property there. And last but not least, on the renovations that we're planning for 2016 is Quincy Towers. For those of you who know Chinatown, this is a critical piece of deeply affordable housing, 162 units in the Chinatown neighborhood where rents have skyrocketed, and Howard and Thatcher and others have been working hard to find a way to finance this project, refinance it so we can invest in it, improve it, and keep it affordable. And so we're working very closely with the city and the state to see what we can do to improve this property and hold it as affordable housing for the long term. And a couple of prospective RFPs. I will say the acquisitions group, Thatcher, Jamie, Michael, Mark, have been working very, very hard, and with the support of Stephanie as well, to try and respond to opportunities that come across our desk. Before I do the Connecticut one, I want to talk a little bit about Lennox Camden, and then I'll shift to Connecticut. So Lennox Camden, we responded to an RFP by the Boston Housing Authority in July, I believe it was. This is a property that's very near Mandela, I think. 285 apartments in the Lennox property and 72 in the Camden property. We put in a proposal to the Housing Authority, and we're waiting to hear, but if it came through, it would be a very exciting, big renovation right near another property that's very important, and that would be really exciting to see. Oops, I got to go backwards now. The couple of things I wanted to mention just about Connecticut. So one of the things that's just struck me about working for Beacon is the depth and just strength of relationships in Massachusetts. The state of Massachusetts, the city of Massachusetts, the housing authority, the city of Boston, the housing authority of Boston, and it's really phenomenal, the kind of the respect and kind of deep relationship that exists there in Massachusetts for this company. And that just is a testament to the quality of work that not only happens on the development end, but happens on the property management end, because what people see are the buildings that exist, and they know they hear from residents who aren't happy, and it's really important that all that exists. One of the things we're also doing is trying to figure out where else do we want to be, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maine. So the acquisitions group is looking at a variety of other options, new ground up type of buildings, acquisition of existing apartments that we can add value to, as Mark alluded to. And near and dear to my heart as a Connecticut native is the work that we're doing in Connecticut. And one of the opportunities that's provided there is that the governor has put a huge amount of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, into the state housing portfolio. So existing properties that were funded by the state in the 70s and 80s, primarily, some in the 60s. And so a lot of housing authorities are right now looking for developers like Beacon to help them through a renovation process. And so we've responded to several of them. One of them is 80 units in the town of Brantford, which is about 10 miles east of New Haven, on the coast of New Haven. You may not have known there was public housing in the town of Brantford, if you know Brantford, but there in fact is. And we're going down for an interview for that RFP response next Tuesday. So wish us luck on that one. And then we also are responding next week, for an 80-unit. Actually, is a 150-unit Section 8 property in East Hartford that the Housing Authority is also looking for a development partner to help renovate. So these responses require a ton of work of people who are sitting around in this room to respond, to tell the Beacon story, to present beautiful pictures, and with any luck, in the next 6 months, we'll have great news to report back of prospects that come out of that, as well as some of these acquisitions and refinancings that we're looking at. One of the things that's just been amazing to me, I want to thank Mark in particular. He's been incredibly helpful and supportive of my joining the team, obviously Pam and Howard as well, but the connection between not just the acquisitions and development group, but also with the property management team, the asset management team, the operations team in this organization is second to none I've experienced. So as Mark said, it's so critical that people are engaged across the those different sectors to ensure the quality of our work and the delivery of the best product we can, not just that looks good, but that the residents are appreciative and can live in as quality housing. So I talked about Lennox Camden, and there are awards that I think, Emily, did you put this list together? This is a list of all the great things that Beacon has gotten recognized for, and I think, again, it's a testament to the quality of the work that's getting done here in the company. So thanks for letting us present the stuff that's going on. Look forward to your questions. Look forward to meeting you all. And am I handing it back to you, Pam? And I'm handing it back to Pam. So thank you very much.